Peace, family. Peace, family. Peace, family. This is your brother, 2020, and you are now tuned into Clear Vision Conversations. So, I am going to share my screen real quick. This is part two. It might be a short part two, but this is part two of the exploitation of Charlie Kirk. Now, it's been a little over a month since Charlie Kirk has passed. Okay. I did some research on him. I heard a lot of the things he said in real time. I seen a lot of the things that a lot of his videos or a lot of his let's say debates on college campuses. I seen those in real time. You know, I wasn't really paying too much attention to it, because you clip things out that you want to hear or that you want to talk about. But I watched a couple of his entire debates. Now, I don't agree with everything that he said. You could say I probably agree with about maybe 1%, maybe a half of a percent of what he was saying. But I do want to make it real clear that he was not a spokesperson for us. He spoke a lot about Black life, Black men, Black women. And we didn't ask him to do that. He never came to any melanated campuses, never came to any melanated conferences, never called a meeting with melanated people other than children or teenagers that he wanted to become Black conservatives. That was his whole audience was all conservative. Okay. So let's just make that clear specifically. As far as his ideology goes, his ideology was far right conservatism. That's his business. Okay. That's his business. There were plenty of people that debated him outside of the college campuses. There were plenty of people that voiced their opinions about him. Like I said, I did some research on him, and I saw what I saw. Okay. So we'll leave that at that. Like I said, I didn't agree with all of the stuff that he said because a lot of it just wasn't accurate. But we're not talking about Charlie Kirk, the debater, right now, because that's what he was. He was a podcaster and he was a debater. That's what he did. He just happened to have a company that was being funded by the people here, probably some people in other countries, as well as some political, what you call them, political action committees, maybe a couple of, private donors from wherever they were at. They all had an agenda. Okay. It's pretty much, I'm not gonna say gospel. It's a pretty well-known fact that he helped Donald Trump get elected. Pretty well-known fact. Okay. Um, but we're talking about Charlie Kirk, the individual, right now. Okay. We're talking about Charlie Kirk, the individual, and we're talking about Charlie Kirk, the company. You know, that's the best way for me to put it. Charlie Kirk, the entity. Okay. All of the money was behind the entity. All the money was behind the business. Charlie Kirk, the business. So the funeral's over. Well, let me take that back. The homegoing is over. And since the homegoing has been over, there has been an extraordinary push of this man's ideology, what he thought, how he felt. So much so that now you have teenagers and young adults who are trying to pick up his mantle and do what he did. And they haven't been too successful at that. They haven't been too successful at that at all. Couple college campuses, some people got kicked off. Couple of gatherings that Black people were at, they got kicked out. They got told to leave. Okay. But none of these conservatives are going to the campuses that he went to. They're not going and talking to the people that he was talking to. They're just trying to come and talk to us now, trying to ask us questions. So I'm going to share my screen right quick. I'm going to show y'all this video that I just seen on YouTube. Okay. And this video is going to say a lot pretty much about where the exploitation is going. Okay. So hold on real quick. Let me share this. Let me share this real quick. Because y'all need to know. Y'all need to know exactly what we're talking about here. So this is from Hype Plus. Hype Plus. Shout out to Hype Plus on YouTube. This is what we mean by exploitation. Okay. You see that? That says the life of Charlie Kirk. That's a homework assignment. I'm gonna let y'all hear what he had to say, or I'm gonna let you hear the whole video specifically, and you'll be able to see for yourself what I'm talking about. Check this out.
News, I'm Janaba.
This is your homework?
Yeah.
What did the teacher say when he gave it to you?
She was sad.
She was sad?
It's been close to a month since the shooting of conservative influencer Charlie Kirk during a campus visit in Utah. His killing, which was captured on camera, comes at a time that parts of the country continues to clash over several political issues in Trump's administration. One of the main issues surrounding Kirk's shooting has been, for some, the contradictions noticed by those who are supporters of Kirk, given that he was seen as a political figure and has been honored in places that on previous occasions have shared they don't engage in politics. Another concern is how Kirk has been treated compared to other political figures in the past. Some would even make the
Fair
claim
use.
that Kirk's work is comparable to the late Martin Luther King Jr. And it is this type of lifting up that has bothered so many, especially black people who felt Kirk's work divided and targeted them. Now, making the rounds on social media, Kirk appears to have received another honor by now being taught in elementary schools. Over on TikTok, a parent will share his child's latest homework, which would be a pamphlet entitled The Life of Charlie Kirk. And it appears to be a Q&A style quiz educating fifth graders on the importance of Kirk.
This is your homework?
Yeah.
What did the teacher say when he gave it to you?
She was sad.
She was sad?
Yeah. I can't read.
Okay.
For his video, which has now been viewed by 6.1 million users, the dad in the video would write, "The homework they're giving fifth grade kids in elementary school, the life of Charlie Kirk." Upon reviewing the footage, some of the questions appear to be true or false questions. One being, he passed away peaceful at home surrounded by his family, true or false. And another that read, many people remember Charlie for his faith, his dedication to helping young people, and his belief that one person can make a difference, true or false. Now, over in the comment section of the video, parents and many others would flood the comments reacting to the teacher's decision to begin indoctrinating Charlie Kirk's life to their young students. Outside of the anger and concern from parents, several black parents would also share their issues with the teacher's decision. One black parent would hold nothing back about their issues with the homework.
Fair use.
The life of Charlie Kirk, huh? I bet they left out all the motherfucking racist bullshit, huh? Y'all really had a whole lesson plan trying to teach these kids about Charlie Kirk. Y'all don't even put this much fucking effort into trying to teach the kids about Martin Luther King. How is any of this relevant to a fucking child and their education? Why the are they allowing teachers to send kids home with Charlie Kirk homework like he was some fucking civil rights leader or some shit like that? He was a fucking podcaster. I wish my motherfucking kids' school would try to send them home with some Charlie Kirk bullshit. But I already know that ain't gonna happen because my kid's principal is a black woman. So I know that ain't gonna happen. So I know I ain't got to worry about that. But for the people that do, the parents that do, y'all better call these fucking teachers out. Y'all better fucking raise hell if they sending your kids home with some Charlie Kirk homework.
Other black parents would join in and call out the teacher's homework. They would go on to write, "But we can't have anything about black history in school anymore." Another would say, "I would have been up at the school so fast." And lastly, "My child would have gotten a 0. Now, upon research, it is unclear what school in Los Angeles it is, nor has the teacher been identified. Now, as stated by one user who would react to the news, in the last few years, Black history in school has been a huge conversation, as some conservatives have requested that schools stop teaching parts of Black history. Just back in 2023, a Missouri school named Francis Howell School would vote to remove Black history altogether by its all-white board. So to see someone like Kirk making some students' homework without any pushback by the school of the student documented in the video is why so many have concerns. Let's talk about it more in the comments below. How would you respond if this was your child's homework? Reporting live from Hypers Club in Atlanta for Hype Plus News, I'm John Abba.
So, that right there is a perfect example of what we call exploitation. Now, don't mind the K9, you know, she barks at anybody that comes through the door. This man was tragically taken. Whether he had anything to do with it or not, I can't necessarily say. But it seems to me like the only person that really, truly has been wanting to get down to the bottom of this whole situation is Candace Owens. Now, Candace herself has had her moments specifically. Um, I seen a tweet earlier about somebody saying, they don't like what she's saying, but they can't call her a liar, which is true. They don't like what she's saying. She's probably the only one that's not really exploiting him. If she was as close to him as she said she was, which I can kind of see that she was, then I can understand that she's mourning her friend that got took away from her. Everybody else, they've been using Charlie as a talking point. They've been using Charlie as a tool of exploitation to get people to look at them. Okay. They even had a whole video of this young man wrapped in an American flag being picked up by Jesus. Then they had him pushing open the gates of heaven and running to Jesus and hugging him. They're using this man as a form of propaganda as well to get people to react the way they want them to react. So this is what we all need to understand about propaganda and what it does. It's used as a tool and a means to rile up the people's sensibilities. Okay. Now, as far as Black people are concerned, we don't need that type of stuff to rile up our sensibilities, because what happens to us is somebody gets killed in our presence, whether it's by us or by somebody else. Those are the type of things that rile us up. Real life things rile us up. They don't have to create propaganda to do that. A lot of money is exchanged hands. His wife is now, his wife's whole background is now being exposed. Turning Point has, from the last time I heard, raised about $141 million since his untimely death. And they have registered, I think, like 500,000 new members. So this is what I would call a textbook example of what exploitation is. We need to look out for all of that stuff, no matter who you are, especially to the non-melanated section of the planet. You need to be real careful about how you take this. You need to be real careful about the moves you make regarding and around this, because you can be found guilty of participating in the exploitation of this young man. Regardless of whether you liked anything he said or not, ain't the point. The exploitation is the point. That's the whole point. Okay. So, like I said, this is a short one. I wanted to throw that video up there. I just found that video right before I started this actual recording. Just found it. So that let me know right there that that was something that I was supposed to see, because this is the conversation that I'm on right now. So this is part 2 of the exploitation of Charlie Kirk. It's going to be more information that's going to come out slowly but surely. It's going to be more players that's going to come out too. And I can't necessarily say I'm a fan, but my suggestion to those who have any questions would be to go over to Candace Owens' channel and watch some of her videos. She makes some very valid points. Start with the first show that she did after Charlie Kirk's assassination. Start with that one. And I think that was probably a couple of days after. Start with that one and then just go through them and look at them. You'll be surprised. I mean, I was kind of surprised, you know. So yeah, y'all make sure y'all check that out. Like I said, and while you're at it, make sure you go to Clear Vision Media. Make sure you go to Clear Vision Media and check out some of my videos that I got up there as well. I'm talking about melanated issues as well as some other things. But yeah, I haven't even posted them all up there yet because I know I might get a couple of strikes on them. So what I eventually I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my Patreon page, and I'm going to set the website up so you'll be able to go to those places and watch those videos without any restrictions, without any strikes and without any unfiltered and uncensored. All right. This is your brother, 2020, Clear Vision Conversations, and I'm out. Peace.